But first, more than 100 aid organisations are warning that mass starvation is spreading across Gaza. As a result, Israel is facing mounting international pressure over the catastrophic humanitarian situation in the Palestinian territory, where more than 2 million people face severe shortages of food and other essentials. This as the US says its envoy, Steve Witkoff, will head to Europe this week for talks on Gaza and then may head to the Middle East. Joining me now from Jerusalem is Noga Tanaposky. Noga, foreign journalists, as you and I know, are banned from entering Gaza. So from where you are in Jerusalem, what are you hearing about the current situation?
That's right, Annette. Good to see you. All journalists are banned from Gaza except those inside Gaza, who Israel has really delegitimized as being Hamas members. What we know is that the situation seems to be rapidly deteriorating. In other words, there are no ways for food to get into Gaza or essential aid except currently through this Gaza Humanitarian Foundation that Israel founded, that is staffed by American ex-military, and it is failing to do the job. People are getting killed huddling around these hubs that this foundation has founded. The UN now says that 1,000 people have died in the 2 months since this new mysterious entity was founded, and no other methods of getting food are permitted. The Israeli army yesterday claimed that there are hundreds of food trucks waiting to get in and that it is not getting the cooperation it needs from the UN. On the other hand, it must be said that Israel has banned the UN from acting on its territory and just 2 days ago refused to give a visa, renew the visa of the top UN official. So there seems to be a bit of a cross-messaging between the UN and Israel on that. But the situation for civilians in Gaza that was kept by Israel, it seems, on the precipice of a real famine for much of the past year, has now really spilled over into a situation that in which there's really no control. And Israel is facing massive demands internationally and increasingly internally to allow food unfettered into Gaza.
And with that said, what has been their response so far?
The Israeli government is simply not responding. It seems to inhabit an alternate space. The Israeli government's principal activity today is an attempt to fire the chairman of the Knesset, the Parliament's Foreign Affairs and Security Committee, who belongs to the Prime Minister's ruling party. The Prime Minister is spearheading an effort to fire him so as to try to ensure ultra-Orthodox Jewish members of the Prime Minister's coalition the ability to evade the universal draft law in Israel. And this, as soldiers continue to die every day in Gaza, it's causing a mass uproar in Israel, and it is allowing the government to more or less ignore the demands both from Israeli protesters and from Israeli allies around the world that this war must come to an end.
Noga Tanaposky reporting there from Jerusalem. Thank you.